Okay, so we are starting 10-6 today. Now, just like 10-4, there's just a lot of different scenarios going on. So we're going to add those to our pink sheet today. But there's two kind of lines that I need to tell you about. One's called a secant line, and one's called a tangent line. Okay? If you ever get to pre-cal or calculus, you're going to see secant and tangent lines a lot. Okay? So let's talk about the difference. Draw a circle. Try your best. I know circles are hard to draw perfectly. Draw a circle above the word secant and draw a circle above the word tangent. A secant line means it's a line that goes through the circle. Secant lines go through the circle. Secant? Okay. Tangent lines go on the outside of the circle. Here's a way for you to remember this. If it's secant, then it seeps through the circle. Right? Secant, seeps. Seeps means it kind of goes through. Y'all know what the word seep means? Like seeps through. Secant lines seep through the circle. When you get a tan, where do you see it? On your skin. But do you see it on the inside of your skin?
Yes.
No, you see it on the outside of your skin. So tangents, think about getting a tan. Tangents stay on the outside of your circle because your tan stays on the outside of your body. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, secant, seeps, tangent, tans. Stays on the outside. Okay? Alright, so here's our first scenario. What kind of lines do we have here? There's two. What kind are they? Secant. There's two secant lines. Okay? And so here's two chords technically, but if you finish the line out, then it would be secant. Our problem is we want to find this inside angle. Here's the quote-unquote formula for this. When you have two secant lines and you want to find the inside angle, you take this arc, so the arc that's across from the angle, and the other arc that's across from it. So you take your two arcs, you add them together, and divide by 2. And that's your missing angle. Help me out. I don't have a calculator. 81.5? Okay. Let's talk about where all 81.5 goes. That's this angle, right? Isn't this angle vertical to it? So both of these are 81.5 because they're vertical. Okay, what if I actually wanted to find this angle right here? Keep going, Misty. What were you saying? Right, because don't these two together make a straight line? See it? These two together make a straight line. And because they do, they have to make 180 degrees. So if that one's 81.5 and you needed this one, you do 180 minus 81.5. For example, in number 2. We want to solve for this angle. But do you see any arcs that are across from that angle? No. So you actually have to find this angle first. Because you can add what two angles? Or what two measures? 55 and 75. And when you add those two, it's going to give you this angle. So what's 55 plus 75 divided by 2? 65? Mm-hmm. So this angle is 65. That's not my final answer. I want to find this one. But together, these two angles make 180 degrees. So x is going to be 180 minus 65. What is it? Okay, will you try number 3? Thank you. Try number 3. Oh man, what's happening? Okay, so let's talk. Let's talk real quick. How would I find 128? How do I get to 128? This arc plus what? The other arc divided by 2, right? So can we just write the same steps we've been doing and then just solve for what's missing? For example, you told me in order to get this angle, I have to add this plus this. So let's do that. 154 plus x divided by what? 2 gives you what? It equals what? 128. So now, how would I solve for x? What's my first step? Multiply by 2. This cancels. So I'm going to have 154 plus x equals 'How'd I get what? Okay, what's next? Which gives me 152? 102. Okay, so let's go to our pink sheet and write down what's happening. On the spot? Because I can't do it on the spot. Okay, write what's happening and then formula. Okay, so what's happening here is technically these are chords, right? Because they don't go outside the circle. If they go outside the circle, then it's a line. Technically, right now, these are chords. So we have 2 chords that are intersecting in the circle. You can just say 2 chords intersecting. If I wanted to find angle 1, tell me what chords or what arcs I have to add. To find angle 1 is equal when I do what? What arcs? N, M, and do what else? Divide by 2. This arc plus this arc divided by 2. Now, won't that also give me angle 2?
Yes.
What if I wanted to find angle 3? NK plus ML divided by 2. And that also gives me what other angle? I don't have any pencils. But thank you. So I'm going to draw a different symbol to those 2 arcs, so you know to add those 2 and divide by 2. Is that one of my pencils you never gave back?
I believe so. Yours and Miss Alfaro. Most appreciated.
What's up, squad?
I missed it. I'm going to keep this. I completely missed that. Okay. All right, let's go into the next scenario. What kind of lines do we have right here? What kind of lines? One tangent and one what? One tan and one secant. One tangent, one secant. This is the tangent. This is the secant. Okay, this is really similar to what we did yesterday, guys. Because, look right here. You have an angle that's on the outside of your circle. And you want to find the major arc J to L to K. We want to find this whole arc. So here's what you do. When it's an angle on the outside of the circle like yesterday, in order to find that arc, what did we do yesterday to find the arc? If we had the angle, what did we do to find the arc? Multiplied by 2. You're going to do the same thing right here. When you have the angle to find this arc, you just double it. So the major arc of JLK is equal to how many degrees?
232.
I'm taking your word for it. I have to write.
My brain is my computer.
Y'all see how that worked? Just like yesterday. Okay, let me explain. Yesterday, when we were talking about these angles right here, we talked about if an angle's on the back side of a circle, to find the arc, you just double it. Well, this angle is still on the back side of the arc. So if you have the angle, to find the arc, you double it. It also works vice versa. If I have the arc, what do I have to do? Divide by 2. Okay? So on number 5, you want to find this angle. So you're finding the angle if QTS, which is here, if this side is 238. If this arc is 238, find that angle.
We're going to be 192.
How'd you get 122? Yeah. So this whole circle has 360 degrees. 238 of it is gone. So what's left? Say it again. 122 is left for that arc. So what do you have to do to find the angle? Divide by 2. So the measure of angle RQS is going to be
So what do you like? You multiply?
well, we divided because it's the arc. If you have the arc, to find the angle, you divide. Okay, so go down here to, it's actually the second to the last one. What? Go down to the second to the last one. So look at this one. This is the one we're talking about. Okay? What's happening is we had one secant line and one tangent line. To find the angle, let's call this angle, I don't like saying this, but let's say this is angle X. So to find angle X, you have to take the arc and divide by 2. Or if you have the arc and you divide by 2, okay, if you want the arc and you have the angle, you have to do the angle times 2, just like yesterday. Okay? All right. There's 3 more scenarios, but they all work the same exact way. Okay? So it's like one scenario, but 3 different things, but they all work the same way. Okay, so these are the 3 scenarios. It tells you right here, you have 2, what kind of lines? Secant, 1 tangent, 1 secant, and then you have, what's this? 2 tangents. Okay, so here's the formula in every single one of these scenarios. You take, I call it big arc and baby arc. This is the big arc because it's the biggest one. So you take big, and then you notice how we're always on the inside of the 2 lines. This is the big arc, and then this is the baby arc because it's inside the 2 lines. So you have big minus baby divided by 2, and when you do that, you will solve for this angle right there. That's it. For all of them. So, in this case, wouldn't this be inside the 2 lines? This is your big, right? Yeah. So, inside the lines, this is your big. And so, this arc right here would be the baby. Okay? Which one's big? The big one, right? The biggest one? This arc. How many arcs are on this circle? It's divided to how many sections? Just 2. So this is going to be big, and then the other section that's left is the baby. Okay, so let's go right on our pink sheet real quick. Okay, we're back up to the second one. We have 2 secants. So to find angle 1, if I want to find angle 1, what arc do I have to do? What's the big arc? PO minus, what's the baby? QR divided by 2. This minus this divided by 2. Okay? What kind of lines do I have right here? 1 secant, 1 tangent. If we want to find angle 1, what's big arc? TW. What's baby arc? UW, and then divide by 2. See how it's the same concept over and over again? What kind of lines do we have right here? I'm sorry. 2 tangents. If I want to find angle 1, what's big arc? Use 3 letters for big arc. YAZ minus what? Divided by? Yes. Okay, so let's go to number 6. I'm sorry, Katie. You're welcome. Okay, let's look at number 6. You want to find angle H, because look, it tells you right here. Find the measure of angle H. So we want to find this angle. Well, what's your big arc equal to? So 88 minus 26 divided by 2. I'm trusting you. Have faith in you. Okay, on number 9, we're not solving for an angle, we're solving for big arc QTS. So, yes. Okay, so you have 2 of the 3 pieces. You have the angle and you have this arc. So you want to find Q to T to S. So let's call that X. Well, in our formula, it always works the same way. What's the big arc? What's the baby arc? Divided by? Gives you what? 71. Same formula. We're just, instead of solving for the angle, we're solving for the side. So x minus 106 divided by 2 gives you 71. How would I solve for x? Multiply by 2. So you're going to have x minus 106 equals 142. Add what? So x, which is your big angle, is equal to 48. Okay, back to number 12. We're solving for an angle again. So I'm going to put x here because that's what we're solving for. How many arcs is this circle divided into? And I know one of them. Can I find the other?
Yes. No, you can't.
Yes.
How? 360 minus 99. Right? Because they all together have to equal 360. 99 of it's taken. So this big arc, our big arc is whatever 360 minus 99 is. 260. Okay, so now can I solve for that angle? What's big? What's baby? Divided by? Thank you. Can you try 7, 10, and 13? So just the next row. Try those 3 for me. Here you're finding for this one.
I didn't know which one. Are you looking at the thing? Or is it a different picture?
Do what?
Are you sure which ones you finding?
Because it tells you. You're finding angle R, you're finding JM, you're finding XY. I don't understand what you mean. Ask your question again.
You know, like, so this one's based on two.
So this one goes with which one over here? Yeah. Go ahead and finish 8 and 11 too. So we should finish all the ones on this sheet. Okay, let's check our answers. Did you get 73, 205, and 185? Uh-oh, okay. You got 30 for 7? Oh, I bet I added them. Yeah, it's 30. Sorry. The other 2 you got though? Okay, how would we do 8? Well, we want to find SU, so can't we just call this X? So then what's big? 68? Yes, ma'am.
Hey, did Michael Wheeler make it in?
No, ma'am. They said he's not here today.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Big, what's your baby? Divided by? Has to equal 23. So, there's just one extra step in solving this equation. Multiply both sides by 2. So you get 68 minus x equals 46. And then you have to subtract 68. So you have negative x equals negative 22. Well, 2 negatives make a, because negative 1 divided by negative 1 turns that into a positive. So it's equal to 22. Finish number 11. We did, this one is just like number 12. 11's just like 12. It's broken into 2 arcs. So if we know one arc, you have to find the second one. Which is what? Because all of them have to equal 360. This one is 106. So to find from here to here, I'm going to do 360 minus 106.
Oh, I did 180 minus 1.
254 minus 106 divided by 2. Well, when you figure that out. I got 74. Okay, we have 3 minutes. Look at your study guide. Can you finish 1 through 8 in your study guide? Right now.
Man, I'm done. Can I take that?
After you show me.